Today we have a 2023 Infiniti Q50. Now the Q50 is one of the oldest luxury compact sedans, being on the market for almost 10 years, but I think we all can agree that the exterior design is still fresh and attractive. In 2016 the car got a facelift, dropping a naturally aspirated 3.7 V6 in favor of a 3-liter twin-turbo V6, producing either 300 horsepower or 400 horses in the Red Sport variant. 7-speed conventional automatic, which transfers the power to either rear or all wheels, is your only option. The Q50 is built on Nissan's FM platform, which dates back to the third generation of the G series introduced back in 2001. It was obviously improved over time, but the concept remained the same. The center mass of the engine, which is pushed as far back to the firewall as possible, is located behind the front axle center line to get the weight of the front suspension and provide close to 50-50 weight distribution. You get double wishbone front suspension, multi-link in the back, and if you go for a performance-oriented Red Sport model, you will also get adaptive dampers. Now, before we talk how it all works together, let's jump inside the Q50 in a sensory trim and talk about the interior space. Unlike the exterior, the interior of the Q50 really shows its age. While it's made of acceptable quality materials with everything well put together, the center console with a double screen layout makes it look outdated. And that's what happens when you start implementing touchscreens in cars, which, as the time passes, are obsolete because technology keeps moving forward. But let's get to the point, starting with the top screen, which displays your camera, map, or a phone projection. The resolution is way too low for today's standards, and with a low quality camera system, you're better off using mirrors and parking sensors. The touchscreen on the bottom is used to control the multimedia, navigation system, and the car settings. The interface in both units is average at best, and the graphics look like they are from early 2010s, especially if you compare it to the Q50's competitors. I do, however, appreciate physical controls for the HVAC system and some basic infotainment functions. Wireless Apple CarPlay and wired Android Auto are standard, but sadly, no wireless charger. A 16-speaker Bose Performance Series sound system is not gonna blow your mind. As most Bose units, it is bass heavy, and as noted by my friend, it has low quality vocals. The front seats are well padded and comfortable, and the seating position, typically for an Infiniti product, is great, making you feel connected to the vehicle when you get behind the wheel. Now moving to the back, it's not super spacious, but being 6'1", I felt somewhat comfortable. No third zone climate control, but you do get climate vents and a couple of USB ports to charge your devices. Lastly, the trunk. It offers 13.5 cubic feet of space, and the backseat folds down if you want to carry longer items. Alright, so that was the interior of the Infiniti Q50. Let's get it on the road now and see how it drives. The Q50, alongside a coupe variant, the Q60, is the last car in Infiniti's lineup built on a rear-wheel drive platform, so the question is, how did it do on my favorite back road? Well, after taking a couple of turns aggressively, I found out that the Q50 is not a sports car. At least not the sensory trim. While the engine is responsive and provides a good amount of power, everything else was tuned with comfort in mind. The transmission is slow to respond, favoring smoothness, and gear ratios seem pretty tall. It's something that you will not notice during everyday driving, but when you drive the Q50 spiritually, you will feel that something's not right. There is also a noticeable body roll, and the steering, while not being overly assisted, offers zero feedback. But on a bright side, I have to admit, I did enjoy driving this thing on a daily basis. The motor is quick off the line, offering a decent amount of low-end torque useful for everyday driving. The suspension is compliant over road imperfections and the cabin is well isolated. And to help you with everyday driving, the Q50 comes with things like an automatic braking with pedestrian detection, blind spot monitoring, lane departure warning, adaptive cruise control, or parking sensors. So that was the Infiniti Q50. With everything we covered, let's jump to the conclusion. The Infiniti Q50 feels outdated for today's standards, especially if you compare it to something like a BMW 3 Series, Mercedes C-Class, or even a Volvo S60. But on the other hand, I can see why some might find its old-schoolness attractive, with a very comfortable ride and a good power delivery, both of which you will appreciate on a daily basis. Pricing starts at $42,650 for a base, rear-wheel drive Lux model, and then all-wheel drive is a $2,000 option. My fully loaded sensory tester was priced at roughly $53,000. It's worth noting that the Q50 comes with a 4-year, 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and a 6-year, 70,000-mile powertrain warranty. If you have any questions about the Q50, feel free to drop a comment and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks so much for watching and I'll catch you later.